Hi, welcome back to season 2 of the Composed Living with Elsa Elbert podcast. I'm Elsa, your host, and today we're talking with Yuliya Charamnykh. She's the owner of a New York City-based athleisure brand called When+Where. And they focus on creating these beautiful, chic, sustainable outfits for women with the goal of just choosing one outfit that carries you through the day. So from workout to errands to dinner. I personally love the idea of simplifying getting dressed in the morning and always of buying quality pieces that support you rather than quantity. And I'm so excited to chat with you today and learn more about your business and how you got started and your journey. Thank you, Yuliya, for being here.
Well, thank you so much, Elsa, for inviting me to be a speaker on your podcast. I'm super excited. Yes, so let me know.
Yeah.
From that.
Well, why don't you?
Energy and cannot wait to share.
Yeah. We met through Hey Mama. We've never met in person, so we've just chatted on the phone and online. And for everyone who doesn't know, Hey Mama is this like national amazing organization that helps women, specifically moms in business, in any kind of business and in any stage of your career, to connect with other working moms and share resources and make introductions. And so I've been a member for a number of years, and it's incredible that through that I can meet, someone like Yuliya who's living in New York, and we can connect and share this beautiful goal of, helping moms simplify their lives and do so in a beautiful way.
Thank you so much. Yes, it's a true beautiful community with like-minded women, and it's a true gem for us working moms in business to have this opportunity to network, to communicate, to pretty much even discuss whatever in your mind, and you can definitely get the support you're looking for in this amazing community. So I'm super grateful for everything, for the connections, for everything. Yes, and as a matter of fact, we had an event yesterday in New York in person.
I saw with Emma.
Yes.
If you did not listen to season 1, she was on season 1 of the podcast. Amazing.
It was a member meetup event, and we had a beautiful group of women. We had about 20 people who showed up, and it was so beautiful, so intimate, and we all shared our stories. It was just like so nice and beautiful just to spend the morning. These women. Yeah.
I love that. I love opportunities to connect with other women, because I think we do such a good job once we're actually in the same room of forming very like deep connections pretty quickly. And so anything that gives us the space to do that, whether it's Hey Mama, or even we just opened, I think I told you, our first brick and mortar store here in Los Angeles. And at the back of it, it's just a big open space for workshops and for the community to come together. And that's just been my favorite part, is seeing like everyone get so excited when they're like, oh my gosh, what could I host here? Like,
maybe next meetup
bring together? Yeah.
Maybe next meetup, Hey Mama, we can host in your space and we can bring everybody together from New York.
Yes. Oh, that would be so fun. A little bi-coastal meetup.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and how and why you started When+Where?
Absolutely. Well, I would just start that as long as I remember myself, I've always been ambitious and career-oriented. After college, and then having worked for a few years for a design executive search firm, then I started having my family and children, kind of got settled into that routine. So, and again, I never thought that I would just become that full-time mom in the first place, and abandoned my professional dreams to raise my 3 children. So, and while being mostly happy with my choice, deep down, I longed for my old identity that was separate from being a mom.
Yeah, I think that's probably common.
Yeah, so when pandemic hit and we're all isolated, spending all these long hours with our families and of course ourselves. So I had this moment of realization that a few years from now, when the kids go off to college and move out, where will I be, right? And how my days would look like. So I really, really got scared. And then, so this is when my mind finally started shifting into the direction, where do I see myself and how I want my life to be. So starting working out more and taking care of my body, I have caught myself with the same routine each morning, staring at my closet in hopes to find an outfit that would transition me from my workout to my other activities throughout the day. So that outfit that would make me feel elegant and put together, no matter where my day would take me next. So, and this is where I decided that this is my chance to give it a shot and create something that I would have been looking for as a customer, but couldn't find on the market.
Wow. What a huge undertaking. I love that. I mean, I think this all the time, particularly with clothes. And then I think also with furniture, like I know what I want, but I can't find it anywhere. It certainly doesn't exist in my closet. But yeah, I think it's so cool. And then I just think, oh my gosh, it's too much, too overwhelming. I'm not gonna, come up with a whole way of making my own things. How did you undertake this whole thing? It just seems like a massive endeavor to me.
It just crazy, because that was just a concept, an idea, which I didn't even think I can actually make it real. It was more a dream first, because I pretty much come to that industry without any experience at all. So I had no idea. I had no knowledge in fashion nor how to create clothes. So pretty much there was me starting a brand without any prior experience, and was so surreal, but just went all in blindly, simply following my gut and any common sense along the way. So I just started with this simple outreach to my local friends, asking them if they had any contacts in the fashion industry. Maybe they can give me some ideas or connections, just for me to understand, for someone who wants to create a brand, how do you do that? So where do you actually start? And that's basically how it started with my local community. And that's when I realized, oh my God, this is the gem, because I know these women who are mothers, and we're connected as mothers, but we never kind of talk about our professional sides. And then when I simply started learning that I have these incredible women in business who apparently have experience in fashion or have worked in fashion in the past, who brought these amazing contacts to me and just simply gave it to me. And that's how it started.
That's so awesome. I love the power of community.
Yes, the power of community, that's true. Yeah.
And so where are you in your journey now? When did you started this? You said in the pandemic.
So the whole concept, the idea started in the summer of 2020, when we're all in that pandemic strain. And that's when I started thinking of how I can go about this idea. How can I make it actually is a reality? So it took me pretty much a year from the idea to launch the brand. And remember, it was just pandemic. So there was no way for you to go to places, network in person. Everything was pretty much done through emails, Zooms, phone calls. And then later, when I was actually in the stage of sourcing for fabric, I remembered by that time already some of showrooms in New York started opening up, and then I was able to come in person with mask and kind of see, understand, feel and touch the fabric, and then kind of figure out, all right, so that's if this fabric would work or it would not work. So that's how I started getting the feel of, all right, so I guess I'm getting this.
Yeah, that's amazing. Do you have a team that works with you, or are you still just?
So I'm still in this process of figuring out who exactly I need, because it's a small brand. And originally I didn't want to have a huge team, because I wanted to figure out the essential part of the business. Like, Plus, I still have 3 little children, so I wanted to understand how manageable that would be for me, raising children at the same time, building the business. So I have a small team, freelance people. I have a designer in-house and pattern maker. I also have, since I manufacture everything in New York, so my manufacturer is pretty much 20 minutes drive from my house.
That's amazing.
Which is amazing. So I have this local team and resources that I reach out to whenever I need help. At this right now, I'm actually also working with the marketing team because I'm slowly moving my business more direct to consumer too.
Okay, cool. Right now, you're selling directly to stores or online?
So I've been focusing mostly on pop-ups and personal events.
Oh, cool.
And the reason why is because, again, coming to the industry without any experience, and I wasn't sure exactly the reaction to the product. So I wanted to understand what exactly this busy woman is looking for. And I wanted to understand and making even adjustments or kind of pivot in the way that I would feel that would be the right direction to go. So I didn't want to go all full speed in one and creating this big production and then God forbid, fail or something, right? So I wanted to take small steps at a time, but make sure that I'm moving in the right direction.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I was very similar. I mean, I wasn't worried that people wouldn't understand the concept of home organization, but it's a lot to think about investing your own personal resources into like a wild idea that you have,
Exactly.
So I did the same. Like when I started, it was just me. And I did everything. I built the website and the social media and did everything alone. And then after the first couple of projects in a client's home, I realized like, it's not really that exciting to work alone. I didn't leave. Like there were so many beautiful parts of working for large corporations, mostly that like you meet so many wonderful people and you get to work together in collaborative teams. And I hadn't thought through leaving that part behind, how isolating it would feel to be alone. And that's when I was like, I need to get some other organizers to be working with me, because then at least we get it goes faster too, which is awesome. Like the client gets to see double the results in the same amount of time. But also it's just more interesting. And then you get different ideas too. We play ideas off of each other and it's fun.
So then I have a question for you. Who was that first person you hired? Who was that?
The first person I hired was an assistant organizer. Yeah.
Okay.
And then we grew to have 2 assistant organizers. And then I realized now we're booking bigger projects and like multiple day projects or like helping people move. You can do a lot more when you have more people on your team. But then we would book 5 projects in a row. And we're out of the house. If we're in someone's home for 8 hours, we're probably out of our house for 10 or 11 hours, sometimes more if we have to go buy products and things. And so if you're coming home at 6 or 7 at night, then I'm opening my computer and seeing that there's new client inquiries and I have to handle returns of unused things and invoicing and respond to people. And how am I going to do consults? And so that became very tricky, where it was like, it's challenging. It's challenging to run a business.
You have to wear multiple hats.
And if you're doing everything, then something is going to fall to the wayside. And I knew I certainly could not afford for it to be that we weren't responding to new client inquiries, because how else would we grow our business? And so then I focused on hiring more assistant organizers, and we did a lot of training together as a team to make sure everyone has the same fundamentals and the same communication style. And then I hired an office manager, and that was a game changer.
Yes, that's a tricky moment, because this is exactly will eliminate most of your problems that distract you, right, from your particular role.
Well, and it's so sensitive to me, this role, because now you're shifting from being the face of your own brand to somebody else is now responsible for representing your brand. And that's so scary. It was never scary to me to hire someone in that role for someone else's business. It was like, of course, anyone can do this. You just train them and you hire the right person. It's so logical. But when it's your own company, something shifts a little bit, And so it took me a while to find the right person. Now we have a wonderful office manager. Her name is Maggie. She was also on season 1 of the podcast.
That's great.
And yeah, she's phenomenal. So she helps with everything client related so that I can focus on how I want to continue to grow and expand the business. And we both work together on how we can also help all of our employees to, achieve their professional and personal goals. And it's fun. We've built this beautiful community of 15 people, I think we're right around 15 now. We're also always in the process of hiring too, so I lose track of the numbers. But it is so much more fun to work in community.
Yes, absolutely. And I totally agree with you. Yes. It's like even now, when I'm still trying to figure out exactly what type of person I would need to have in order for me to, make my life less stressful as a business owner. Because you do need at the end of the day, not just support and all these your daily tasks, but also to even bounce ideas, like when you to just brainstorm. That's really important as well, right? So
yeah, absolutely.
when you have a team, you have your, I don't know, weekly meetings where you can actually bounce the ideas, and then definitely you get more outcome from that.
Oh yeah. And I learned so much from my team, which is awesome. We focus so much on sustainability, and when we remove donations from a client's home, we have this very intense sorting process to make sure that everything that can be put back into the community is given freely to someone who needs it. So if it's clothing, we work with shelters and a bunch of other nonprofits, or textile recycling. We donate to animal shelters, like anything that we can figure out a place for an item to remain in reuse. We do that. And the girls on the team are I can't say the girls, everyone on the team, because we also have a gentleman now, which I'm very excited about.
That is great. And I do love that idea of giving back and just run your business sustainably, and not just build a business, but also reflect and give, right? So it's important, especially for service-based business. It's really impressive that you found that way of giving back. And yes, and I love that. It seems like it's at the core of your whole.
It is, very much so. And so I'm constantly learning from everyone on the team about new resources of where we can take things. And they are all equally passionate about this mission of, the sustainability side of keeping things out of a landfill and trying to protect the planet in that way, but also the service mindset of giving to somebody who needs something and having that be a free exchange. So I love that everyone is equally on board with that. It is really the core of how we set up our business model. And now we actually have also launched a nonprofit called Composed Giving. And so we handle basically all of the client donations that we used to do. We've been doing that part for 7 years, but now we can open it up to the city at large, and people who want to bring in donations, or if they have items to be recycled, they can bring them into our storefront, and we process all of that.
Do you partner with the government, with or the particular organization locally?
So it's its own corporation. It's a 501c3 charitable organization. So the same as you would drop something at like a women's shelter or the Goodwill, and you just get your tax donation receipt. We are set up in that same legal aspect, but rather than operating a thrift store, we have a free shop for the community. So we stock that with, clothes that are donated to us that still have tags on them, or maybe are nicer brands. So if you were a single mom and you're struggling and you needed to come get like a nice outfit to wear to a job interview or whatever, you can come and shop from our free store.
This is amazing.
Yeah. And then we
Amazing.
also stock
I
baby
love that.
stuff and home goods. And then everything that because we get such a large volume, we only keep a small amount in our store in the free shop, but everything else we still take and distribute throughout the community to various other organizations and anyone who's really focused on helping people in need throughout Los Angeles without a cost, like.
Yeah.
I was a single mom. I had my daughter when I was 18, almost 19. And I was in college and, we were like working part-time, making minimum wage and taking out school loans. And like, we were not overwhelmed with the amount of money that we had, we were very underwhelmed.
And you do know, right?
And yeah, so it's sometimes like you can't even go buy something at a thrift store because you just simply don't have the money. And so that's really our biggest focus, and where that service mindset comes from is there's so much abundance in this world, and we just want to kind of spread it around.
And I do understand that 100% completely, especially now when I affiliate myself with the fashion industry. And actually, this is when we connected with you, right? We actually, on sustainability importance and all these initiations, when we actually started our initial conversation, both you and I, we actually really connected on that, right? So because I do run my business also, I position my business as a sustainable business because the actual concept, right, of the brand is the response to fast fashion. Because we all know that, especially fashion industry, it's the most dangerous industry that pollutes our earth. It's every year there's so much cloth gets into the landfill, and it takes years and years not even to decompose, which is very horrible. So yes, and just wanted to mention that as a sustainable brand, we're committed to slowing down and producing pieces that last, creating space for owning less by introducing a capsule collection to your closet. And this is the foundation of the line, that pretty much the whole line is consists of clothes that actually goes together. So it's a mix and match, tops and bottoms, outwear pieces that no matter how you mix and match, it always creates you nice outfit. So which is very important. And
they're beautiful pieces. I love that the tops don't look like a sports bra, it's more like kind of a corset.
I'm actually wearing this one right now.
So cute.
And I'm hoping, okay, so in a few hours when I have my 30 minutes free time, my lunch time, I will do some, I don't know, my yoga or mat Pilates.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
And then is the jacket is that also your brand?
Yes. So cool. The line is actually, I'm going to show it to you since we're doing Zoom, is that the whole outfit consists of 3 pieces. So it's a top and bottom, which creates your activewear set that it's made of performance fabrics. Everything's made of sustainable fabrics. So this particular one is a regenerated nylon that is made of fiber that is created from all this pollution that is in the ocean, all this garbage, plastic, fishing nets. Yes, everything gets fished out from the ocean and gets transported into fiber. So that's how this beautiful, elegant fabric gets created, and that really so amazing. Cool. Yeah. And then also this jacket I'm wearing, this is, it's called the Completer. And what's cool about that, speaking of sustainability, because I was thinking, besides just whatever I have already mentioned, besides that, everything is made of sustainable fabrics, and we're also partnering with the ethical suppliers, also manufacturing local, right? And the whole fulfillment process is actually what we do is we pack our orders in biodegradable packaging, all the tags and wrap tissue, everything goes into compost. But I also so awesome. Thank you. But I also wanted to go beyond and start actually with the design thinking, with the design process. I wanted to create a garment that would be 100% sustainable. So this one is actually made of a square piece of fabric, which means that it creates very less
The textile waste.
what is it?
You're not cutting as
There's
many
no
times.
waste of fabric,
Yeah.
right? So there's very minimum waste of fabric, pretty much zero waste of fabric. That's why it's called zero waste. Yeah. And besides that, it's such a versatile piece because
it makes it drape so beautifully because of that square. I think this is my favorite piece in the collection because you could throw it over anything and you're instantly chic.
Absolutely. And plus it's reversible.
Yeah.
And it has pockets and you can wear, the sleeves are so comfortable. And because of the rib, you can lift it up and kind of it stays in place. And here I'm going to show it to you and you're going to really love and appreciate this moment.
Yeah, I need to get this piece immediately.
You can also, when you flip it upside down, you can wear like that as a short jacket.
What?
Do you see that?
No.
Yes. This piece, exactly. You can wear long and short, and you can also wear as a wrap on your head, or you can do it like that.
This is amazing.
You can accessorize it with a cute pin.
Yeah.
And there's so many ways of wearing. Even
I didn't know you could wear it upside down. This is so cool. It's so cute as a short coat.
It is, right? And you can do it like as a tuxedo collar. Like, look at that. So really, really cool. And you know what? Actually, I never thought about that, but I also started hearing from my customers who are nursing moms. And they're like, oh, we use it as a nursing wrap.
Yeah. Oh, it's perfect. I mean, it's perfect for anything. Imagine if you're on a plane, you're cold, you just want something that feels like a blanket.
When you travel, exactly, on the airplane, or if you go on a long weekend and you don't want to right? You just want to have a couple of, pieces of. So this is the piece that will give you everything.
Well, I'm coming to New York in November. So I was like, I need this piece while I'm on the plane and while I'm traveling, because otherwise it's like, I'm not going to pack a bunch of sweaters and jackets and all of this stuff. And you never know what the weather will be like in New York in the fall.
Yeah.
But we should hang out in person too.
We should definitely.
I think I'll be there for 5 days.
I would love that. Absolutely. Let me know when you're here.
I will.
And what you're planning. Yes, soon. I don't know when, but to visit the West Coast. So
you have
to. Never know who gets where faster.
We'll have an LA day. I'm obsessed with this jacket. I had no idea. I mean, I knew it was reversible, and I love anything that you can throw on and it's easy and it just looks like you're very fashionable.
And I should mention also there are pockets from both sides and all functional. So you can put things in here and
and they're big, they're roomy, like you can throw your phone, your keys, lip gloss, whatever.
When I go to events, all the business cards, they go here because I know I can put it in my purse or anywhere.
Good for you. I always forget my business cards, and then people ask, I'm like, I don't know what you want from me. Like, we're a sustainable brand. I just don't have printed stuff. Follow us on Instagram.
And that was actually where I faced challenge. And I actually was very much surprised when at the beginning, at the early days of my brand, when I started going to all these networking events and people would start asking me for business cards. And I'm like, do people still use business cards? Because I remember back then, okay, that was normal. But now, do you really? And this is a challenge because then it piled wrap up, right? And you have to figure out like what to do with them. So I know there are some options, some solutions with the digital cards or with a QR code. That's what we need to implement more in our lives, right? Because
I've just been doing like, here's our Instagram, follow us, and then you can message me. I can message you. We'll figure it out from there. Plus it will link you to our website and like everything you ever need to know about Composed Living. But every time I'm like, man, I can't believe I forgot them again. I'm sure I have business cards somewhere. And then when I launched the store, everyone who comes in is like, oh, do you have a card? I'm like, no.
I think it's a force of habit. People say that, right? Without even, because I'm sure.
You just want to ask them, like, what are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with my card if I give it to you?
Exactly.
You're going to throw it away.
The best way, take a picture, right? And just store it in your folder.
Business
cards. How about that?
We did end up making business cards for the store. They are at least printed on recycled paper.
Yes.
It's just those things that I don't think about because I've tried so intentionally to stop taking things from people
Yeah.
Or I'll
And
write
then
it down, I'll
you
take a
need
picture of it,
unnecessary
and then I
things.
make sure to follow up with an email or something so that I still have their contact info. But I forgot to buy like tissue paper and bags. And then as I was stocking the shelves, it dawned on, I was like, what am I going to do if someone buys like 50 glass spice jars? Like they can't just carry them out of here like this. But again, like I'm so used to if someone asks, like, do you want a bag? Do you want me to wrap that? I'm like, no, I'll throw it in my purse or something. And I was
But
like,
you
oh,
know,
shoot,
because
I gotta
when
find
we,
like compostable paper. And
you know what, but I don't know how in your world, but in my world, it creates extra hassle. Like I need to figure out, where to put it, how to recycle.
yeah.
Pile is up and you don't want that.
Yeah. And that's the thing is I don't want to buy anything that can't be composted or recycled or is already recycled. Like we want the smallest impact on the planet. And I would say 95% of our customers say, oh, no, I can just carry it, or I'm just going to the car. So I think they get it. Like they're coming to shop from us because they know that what we're focused on is carrying like sustainable goods. And so they're a little more like-minded, but with the holidays and stuff coming up, we're planning like a big holiday, like a Christmas market sort of in our little plaza.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh my gosh, I know people are going to want things gift wrapped. So now I need to do some research on, I haven't experimented with the fabric wrapping, have you seen this? Where
Yes.
it's so beautiful, so cool.
Beautiful.
And I've done it just for myself, like for friends, but not in a way that I think is like
But then think
professional
about
enough to
that.
offer to customers. So I need to practice
But
maybe.
think about that, like fabric, right? Like it also has to have a purpose. You can just like,
Mhm.
wrap it like a regular whatever piece of
Yeah.
fabric, right? Like it has to be either maybe like, I don't know, a
Scarf or
napkin or
something.
something, a
Yeah.
scarf, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's meaningful if it's a scarf, or I mean, tablecloth probably too big. It depends on the size of the,
Depends on the gift.
of the gift. That's true.
Well,
But it's
hopefully.
something for sure.
Yeah. My mom was always so good at that. She would find like little scraps of things and make the most beautiful packaging and pick fresh flowers from the garden and tuck them in. And maybe I need to hire her to come work in the shop. But
Or at least some ideas. She can definitely help
I
you out.
know, but she lives too far. She moved to Portugal a few years ago.
Wow.
So
Which part?
she lives in the town of Villanova de Mil Fontes. It's
Is it
like
like,
2 hours south of Lisbon on the coast.
Oh, because I was there last year and I went
Yeah.
to, we
It's
explored the
beautiful.
whole south of Portugal.
So it's not quite down by
Faro,
like Faro and Lagos.
Yeah.
It's not quite in the Algarve, but it's in between the two spaces.
Mhm.
And it's very charming. It's
It
like
is
the
very beautiful.
quintessential beach town, There's like a few cafes, a few little shops, an ice cream place, and then a couple of restaurants right on the sand that do like a beautiful grilled fish.
That is
It's
amazing.
it's paradise, and it's so
Wow.
affordable. And I should stop talking about it because everyone's moving to Portugal, and it's not going to stay affordable for
Well, we
for
could
long.
create
But
another episode on that, just to talk about the
take this
destination.
out.
It's just beautiful.
Remove it all. My younger brother lives there as well. He's been there for many years now.
So she moved to him, to close to him.
Yeah, closer to him. Also, it's, she's retired and living in Southern California off of Social Security income. It's extremely difficult. And in Portugal, she can be completely independent, and she has a beautiful cottage on the ocean and a beautiful garden and a little car, and she can walk everywhere in her town. And that would be nearly impossible anywhere in Southern California. So it's wonderful that she's close to one of her children, and wonderful that she can be independent and has this gorgeous space. And it's so nice.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
she's lucky.
I know.
Yeah.
So I would love to live in a cottage by the beach.
That's a great way of having that quality lifestyle.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's obviously so different from, our hectic, busy lives here.
Yeah, we have to work really hard to have the same quality of life or even something comparable. And we have many blessings living in the United States, but there's a lot of struggles. And I just see how hard, my husband and I both have to work just to be able to own a house or like do car maintenance or like buy groceries, like
That
try
is
to
so
shop
true.
organic foods
Yes.
and all of
And,
that.
and most of these things, when you do them, you try not to think about them because you kind of do that already as an auto reflex, right? Like you don't kind of even think that. You don't want to even go into that. And otherwise, then, it creates a different.
But I do find myself sometimes looking on like Trulia or Redfin. I'm like, where else could we live where houses are only $80,000 and
It's funny that you
we
brought it
could
up
make the same
because
income.
that's actually, think about that. I was just a few weeks ago, I came back from Europe and I was in Spain, and I have a friend who moved there. So she hosted me and my children for a week. We were staying, she is in the Costa Brava region.
Beautiful.
And she just told me, she's like, oh my God, I can definitely see you living here. I'm like, you know what? I actually feel
you're like, I see it too.
belong to this territory. I'm like, I already accepted that as I'm a local, even though I've been here for like whatever 3-4 days. And I had that thought too. I'm like, so maybe one day, if I get tired of New York, which I don't know how is possible,
I
you never
love
know,
New York
right?
City.
So that would be probably a destination.
I have this problem anywhere I go in the world. It could be a tiny town that we just like stop in on a road trip, or, somewhere in like Malaga in Spain. Anywhere I go, I'm like, Chad, I think I could live here. He's like, I know, sweetie, you could live anywhere. I just get so excited about the possibilities and like, look at this beautiful house and look at this little charming main street. And
it means that you go to the right destinations, because you're happy in your vacation. This is what matters.
I also see it in places that are looking a little more on the destitute side, because then my mind starts going wild with the possibilities. And it's like, oh my gosh, imagine the impact we could have on this community if we bought like all of these buildings in the downtown and then we like revitalize them and we could restore them and then people could have affordable storefronts and and he's just like, you're too much. This is not going to happen. I don't know where you think we're going to get the money to like buy a city block from.
But listen, you know what it takes is just we need to manifest it, right? We just need to manifest and truly believe that this is possible and this is when the things happen, right?
So many communities where I feel like, you just look at the homes and it's like they've been left behind. And how beautiful would it be to be able to restore? This is what I would do. Like if I won the lottery and just had unending amounts of money, I would love to do this and restore communities back to a place where everything looks beautiful and feels safe and is affordable for the people who live and work there. They shouldn't be priced out of their own homes and their own areas. And I understand why landlords do it. Like if they're investing money, sure, they want to make their money back. But if I had unending amounts of money, I wouldn't need it to come back. So I could just do it to help other people.
That is great. Even I'm sure we all know that there are people with that type of amount of money, right?
Yeah.
Who don't have this
do
idea.
It. Get on it. All of the billionaires out there.
You have exactly. Right.
I'll help you find the places. I'll design them for you.
Yeah. You never know.
I just
maybe
need
somebody will
financially back
maybe
me.
someone will be sitting in their car listening to this podcast, maybe randomly, maybe intentionally. And hear that. And you never know, maybe a few weeks later you're gonna get a call. Someone will.
Hey, I'm into it. I'm ready, universe. I accept this challenge 100%.
I like this idea, and it's beautiful. So I hope one day it will come true.
Oh, me too. Me too. Also, it's so fun to see. Obviously taking care of a home it's like at the core of my being and has always been that way. I think that's like my safe haven, my retreat from the world, like where I can feel grounded and safe and supported. And I think everyone deserves to have that same feeling.
That is important. I agree.
Yeah.
For a small family, for a big family, for one person family.
Everyone.
For everybody. Yeah, for everyone.
Well, one day.
Yeah.
Can't wait. One of the things I do ask everyone is if you have like a word, a feeling, an intention, like something that you are very focused on at this moment in your
Mhm.
life that sort of, whether it's your reason for getting out of bed in the morning or helping you to run your business, if there's like a feeling you're trying to capture.
Feeling I'm trying to capture. I would probably attribute this to my dream, to my goal, my long-term goal, I would say. I do want to create a business that will give something to other people.
Hmm.
So I would like to create something meaningful, something more just a clothing brand, something that would inspire other people to be part of it. So I don't know how yet, but I have multiple ideas. So I would like to have this community of people who would benefit, who somehow it will help them to maybe get extra income or just find themselves, like for instance, some mothers who quit their jobs, who became stay-at-home moms, and they're at the stage where they can rediscover themselves or they cannot even discover themselves. So at these stages of life, maybe somehow this brand will help them to bring their identities. Something
I
like
love
that.
that. Maybe
Uh,
like purpose.
yes, a
It's
purpose.
like purpose for
Yeah,
you,
probably
purpose for the
yeah, I would,
company.
so purpose, that would be the word. Yeah.
I love that. That's so beautiful. And it's so wonderful that this is your vision for your company. It's so much more than just a beautiful outfit. I love the sustainability piece of it. I love the idea of a capsule wardrobe. I think people often just think about it like, oh, you're buying less, or it helps with making decisions. But really, it's like we overwhelm ourselves with too many choices throughout the day. And this is such a beautiful way of being mindful, and starting your day off in a more like grounded, centered
Right,
way.
stress-free, that you're not so anxious and you're not so nervous and you're not so frustrated, because when you're looking in your closet, and I'm sure everybody was there in this position, that, oh
Oh,
my
yeah.
God, I have so much in my to-do list, in my agenda, I don't even know what to wear. But I do
Yeah.
want to have this moment of maybe meditating or doing stretching or something that would give you, that self-care moment, right? That we all need throughout the day as women, because we're
Yeah.
so busy and we don't care about ourselves, we forget about ourselves, right? That we need that, and we need it the most on some days. Like, I understand we all have our families and children and we're always there for them, but we're not there for ourselves. So I would like
Mhm.
that also to be part of that, so that you have that moment and you're already dressed, an outfit that gives you everything, and you can look stylish, you can look put together, and at the same time you can do and have this 15-20 minutes or half hour or whatever time you have, because you're already dressed with a purpose.
Yeah. And then you just throw that beautiful jacket right on top of it and you're off
Exactly.
to
And
cocktails.
couple of accessories, and you can switch
Yeah.
your sneakers to heels, grab your beautiful bag, put the scarf on, or I don't know, a pendant or something,
Yeah.
nice earrings, put the dry shampoo, because we normally don't have time to wash
That's
our
every
hair
morning. Every
daily.
morning I'm like,
And you're exactly, and you're good to go.
yeah, when the dry bar was invented, I became a member right away. And I've been going once a week for, I don't know, 12 years, 13 years now.
Yeah.
Uh, and it's so funny because I used to think about it as like, what a luxury. And now I'm like, no, it's not. It doesn't even feel like a luxury to me anymore. It feels like a necessity. And while I'm sitting there, I have the opportunity to either read a book, or I can sit and do work emails and just get things off of my plate. But also, I don't know how to do hair. I never have. And so if I go there once a week, my hair is so like dry and thick, it really can stay for a whole week without washing. And honestly, it looks better like later in the week.
I
But
am
then
the
I feel
same.
good. I
Yeah.
feel great when I wake up because my hair is already done. I'm not worried about it. And to me, it's like the greatest investment in myself. And like, I don't shop for clothes often. I'm not like a consumer
Right.
in that way, but
don't follow
this is
these
my
quick
one thing
trends.
where it's
Yeah.
like, if I don't feel great in my own skin, then, it changes the way that I interact with the world. And so I look at it as an investment in myself. And I use that time either to be completely like focused on myself and reading and relaxing. Sometimes I'll, have a glass of champagne while I'm there. And then other times I'm like, great, I can't answer my phone, so I'm just going to do emails. I'm going to get things off my to-do list, and I'm going to feel wonderful when I walk out. And their
Yeah.
dry shampoo smells amazing.
You see, great. I love that. And that's how I function too. So
Yeah, the
I
best.
totally feel it. Yes, I totally relate to that.
Oh, well, thank you so much for
Thank you
being a
so much,
guest.
Elsa. Thank you for having me as your guest. I truly enjoyed our conversation, and I love the synergy. I love the whole
Same.
connection as personalities, as brands.
Yeah, we have
And
to do an LA pop-up whenever you're ready. We are ready to host
love
you.
to. Would love
I will
to.
see you hopefully in November in New York. And I have to get one of these jackets today. I'm going to buy one because it's perfect. It's like everything
Yeah.
anyone could need.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.